Part 6. The Sacrifice. The forest had grown eerily silent. The usual chorus of nocturnal creatures had fallen mute, leaving only the whispering wind and the rustle of leaves. Alex and Bulbasaur stood at the edge of a clearing, staring at an ancient, weathered altar standing solitary under the pale moonlight. It was clear that this was no ordinary place. The air felt heavy, laden with the weight of countless secrets and unspoken horrors. "We've come so far, Bulbasaur," Alex whispered, their voice trembling with a mix of fear and determination. "This altar, it holds the key to ending the curse, but it's also a place of sacrifice." Bulbasaur looked up at Alex, its eyes reflecting the same mix of emotions. They both understood what might be required of them. This journey had tested their bond in ways they never imagined, but they had always faced the darkness together. As they approached the altar, a sense of dread settled over them. The stone was cold and slick with moss, ancient runes etched deep into its surface. Alex ran their fingers over the carvings, trying to decipher the meaning. The runes spoke of a powerful ritual, one that required a great sacrifice to break the curse and restore balance to the land. "We have to do this," Alex said, their voice steady despite the fear gnawing at their insides. "For us, for everyone." Bulbasaur nodded, a look of fierce determination in its eyes. It stepped forward, placing one of its vines on the altar. The runes began to glow with an eerie light, casting long shadows that seemed to twist and writhe like living things. A low hum filled the air, growing louder with each passing second. Suddenly, the ground beneath them began to tremble, and the shadows coalesced into dark, wraith-like figures. They swirled around Alex and Bulbasaur, their eyes glowing with malevolent intent. The air grew cold, and the sense of danger became palpable. "Stay close, Bulbasaur," Alex urged, their voice filled with a mix of fear and resolve. "We have to face this together." The dark figures lunged at them, their movements swift and predatory. Alex and Bulbasaur fought back with everything they had, their bond giving them strength and courage. Bulbasaur's vines lashed out, striking the wraiths with a force born of desperation. Alex swung their flashlight like a club, the beam of light scattering the shadows momentarily. But the wraiths were relentless, their numbers seemingly endless. Each time they struck one down, another would rise in its place. The battle raged on, the night filled with the sounds of struggle and the cries of defiance. As the fight wore on, Alex felt their strength waning. They could see the same exhaustion in Bulbasaur's eyes. The wraiths closed in, their malevolent whispers filling the air with promises of doom and despair. It seemed as though all hope was lost. In that moment of desperation, Alex realized what the sacrifice truly meant. It wasn't just about offering something physical, it was about giving a part of themselves, something deeply personal and irreplaceable. "Bulbasaur," Alex said, their voice barely a whisper. "I know what we have to do." Bulbasaur looked at Alex, understanding dawning in its eyes. It nodded, stepping closer to Alex. Together they stood before the altar, their hearts pounding in unison. "I give my strength, my hope, my love," Alex intoned, their voice resonating with a newfound clarity. "Take it, and let it be the light that banishes the darkness." Bulbasaur closed its eyes, its vines wrapping around Alex in a gesture of trust and solidarity. The runes on the altar flared with a brilliant light, blinding in its intensity. The wraiths shrieked and recoiled, their forms dissolving into nothingness as the light washed over them. When the light faded, Alex and Bulbasaur found themselves alone in the clearing. The wraiths were gone, and the air was filled with a sense of peace and calm. The altar stood silent and still, its purpose fulfilled. "We did it," Alex whispered, tears streaming down their face. "We really did it." Bulbasaur nuzzled against Alex, a look of pure affection in its eyes. They had faced the darkness together and emerged victorious. Their bond had been tested and strengthened, and they knew that whatever lay ahead, they could face it together. But the journey was not over. The sacrifice had been made, but its true cost was yet to be seen. As they stood in the moonlit clearing, Alex and Bulbasaur knew that their path was still fraught with challenges, but they also knew that they would never walk it alone. The aftermath of their sacrifice left Alex and Bulbasaur drained but determined. The clearing, once filled with the echoes of their struggle, was now eerily silent. The altar, its purpose fulfilled, seemed to pulse with a faint residual glow, a testament to the power it had unleashed. "We have to keep moving," Alex said, their voice hoarse with exhaustion. "We can't stay here. There's still so much to do." Bulbasaur nodded, though its movements were sluggish. The toll of the battle and the sacrifice had left it weary, but its spirit remained unbroken. Together they turned away from the clearing, their steps slow but resolute. As they ventured deeper into the forest, the air grew colder, the shadows lengthening with each passing moment. The trees seemed to close in around them, their branches intertwining like the fingers of some ancient sleeping giant. Despite the oppressive atmosphere, Alex felt a strange sense of calm. They had faced the abyss and emerged stronger for it. But the forest was not done testing them. As they made their way through the tangled undergrowth, they began to hear whispers on the wind. At first they were faint, almost indistinguishable from the rustling of leaves. But gradually, they grew louder, more insistent, like the murmurs of 1,000 unseen voices. Alex glanced at Bulbasaur, their eyes meeting in silent understanding. The whispers were trying to lead them astray, to sow doubt and fear in their hearts. But they would not be swayed. Their bond was their strength, and together they could overcome any obstacle. "We have to stay focused," Alex said, their voice firm. "Ignore the whispers. They're just trying to scare us." Bulbasaur nodded, its eyes fixed straight ahead. The whispers grew louder, more frantic. But Alex and Bulbasaur pressed on, their steps unwavering. They could feel the weight of the forest pressing down on them, but they refused to be cowed. After what felt like hours of trudging through the dense undergrowth, they came upon a clearing unlike any they had seen before. In the center stood a massive, gnarled tree, its trunk twisted and blackened, as if scorched by some ancient fire. At its base lay a small, ornate box, its surface covered in intricate carvings. "This must be it," Alex said, their voice filled with a mixture of awe and apprehension. "The box of secrets." Bulbasaur approached the box cautiously, its eyes wary. They had faced many dangers on their journey, but this felt different. There was a sense of finality to this place, as if it held the key to everything they had been seeking. As Alex reached out to touch the box, a sudden surge of energy coursed through them. The carvings on the box began to glow with an otherworldly light, and the air around them seemed to shimmer and warp. They could feel the weight of countless eyes upon them, watching their every move. "Be careful," Alex murmured, their voice barely audible over the hum of energy. "We don't know what this box can do." Bulbasaur nodded, its vines extending slowly towards the box. As it made contact, the light intensified, and a low, resonant hum filled the air. The box began to tremble, its lid slowly lifting to reveal a blinding, radiant light. Suddenly, the light burst forth, enveloping Alex and Bulbasaur in a cocoon of energy. They felt themselves being lifted off the ground, their bodies weightless and insubstantial. The forest around them seemed to fade away, replaced by a vast, infinite expanse of light and shadow. In this strange, otherworldly realm, they saw visions of their past and future, glimpses of the trials they had faced and the challenges that lay ahead. They saw themselves standing together against the darkness, their bond unbreakable and their spirits unyielding. As the visions swirled around them, Alex felt a deep sense of peace and clarity. They understood now what the box had shown them. The journey was not just about overcoming the darkness, but about embracing the light within themselves and each other. With a final surge of energy, the light receded, and Alex and Bulbasaur found themselves back in the clearing. The box lay open before them, its light now a gentle, soothing glow. They felt a renewed sense of purpose and determination, their bond stronger than ever. "We know what we have to do," Alex said, their voice filled with resolve. "We have to keep fighting, no matter what, for ourselves and for everyone we care about." Bulbasaur nodded, its eyes shining with the same determination. They had faced the abyss and emerged victorious, but their journey was far from over. The path ahead was still fraught with danger, but they would face it together, their spirits unbroken and their hearts filled with hope. As they left the clearing, the whispers of the forest faded into silence. The darkness that had once seemed so impenetrable now felt like just another part of their path. With every step, they felt the weight of their journey and the promise of what lay ahead. Alex and Bulbasaur walked side by side, their bond a radiant light guiding them through the unknown, towards whatever future awaited them in the depths of the forest.